The majority of people around you blame luck for not having the things that they feel like they deserve. And they believe that in order to be successful, or to earn good money, or to have a good job, or a nice house, or just a good life in general, they need to be lucky. But is this really a mindset that's going to help you achieve your potential? Or should you believe that the chances of you succeeding increases the smarter you work? Well, that's what the pioneers that created the world we live in today believed. And that's exactly why... Hello, my brother. Let's talk about luck and how most unsuccessful people are very quick to blame their misfortune and victimize themselves in pretty much every single situation that seemingly goes wrong, and claim that the bad circumstances they're in is due to a lack of luck, when the reality is they say these things to quickly escape the guilt that they feel instead of actually just owning it and accepting their scenario for what it is. And that might sound quite harsh, but quite frankly it's the truth, and it's a truth that needs to be told, especially to you, and I'll explain why in a second. But in essence, the majority of people attach themselves to this narrative of being unlucky, which straight up is preventing them from taking action and ultimately achieving the things that they desire and are capable of, because it's a limiting belief, and limiting beliefs produce limited results. Now, the reason for why you also need to be told this truth is because people like you and I have been raised in a community where almost everybody follows the same narrative of there being lucky and unlucky events, instead of just taking things for what they are and not necessarily categorizing them as good or bad. And actually, there is an amazing story which I'm about to read you, which I hope will get you to understand a little bit more where I'm coming from with this. So get yourself comfortable, little one, because it's story time. So, once upon a time there was a farmer who lost a horse because it ran away. And when this happened, the neighbours came round and said, "Oh no, that's such terrible luck." But the farmer replied, "Well, maybe." The next day, the horse returned, and when it returned, it brought back 6 more horses with it. And when this happened, the neighbours said, "Oh wow, that's amazing luck." But the farmer replied, "Well, maybe." The next day his son was trying to tame one of the horses, but he broke his leg in the process. And when this happened, the neighbours came round and said, "Oh no, that is such terrible luck." But the farmer replied, "Well, maybe." Weeks later, the army were recruiting all able-bodied boys to join up, but they didn't take the farmer's son because of the fact that he'd broken his leg. And when this happened, the neighbours came round and said, "Oh wow, what amazing luck." But once again, the farmer replied, "Well, maybe." The end. So the moral of the story is that you should never judge an event that's happened in your life as being good or bad, or lucky or unlucky, because only time will tell the whole story and why something has happened the way that it has. And to actually use this story to your advantage, you want to start thinking differently and smarter than everybody else, and stop using luck as an excuse for your circumstances. For example, just think how 99% of people follow the exact same script as everybody else throughout their lives. And by this, I mean going to school, and then college, and then maybe uni, all to eventually get employed by somebody else and work for a set salary, probably from 9 till 5, which don't include the hours getting ready and commuting, by the way, to get a whopping 25 days off a year, all to retire at the age of 65. It actually just sounds wonderful, you know? But anyway, more or less, this script provides people with hardly any financial freedom, or just freedom in general, and permits them to live just to pay taxes and bills and maybe go on holiday for 1 week per year, which to me sounds horrific. But I guess it's a life that's not quite bad enough for people to stop following the script. And it's just about good enough for people to get by and continue following it. And I don't want to get too deep with this, but it is a very clever system. And we have been sold this narrative throughout our entire lives that this is the way life should be, which I now think is utter bollocks, as it simply just enables the people at the top to continue to prosper and then keep us peasants at the bottom slaving away. So I think it's really important to try and think different and try and think smarter, and remove the idea from your head that you have to be lucky to have an amazing and fruitful life, and instead change that mindset to thinking that the smarter and harder you work, the more opportunities you will create for yourself. You know, like the more bowling balls you throw, the more strikes you'll get. You've got to think, if everyone around you is living an average life, why the would you take their advice? Why are you listening to people that say you need to be lucky to get what you truly want? Why would you listen to the teachers and the friends and the family members that give you advice on being successful and follow the same script as them, when there are literally 12-year-olds on TikTok that have made more money this month than they ever will in their entire lives? This is a new age. Business has changed. Entrepreneurship has changed, and you can take advantage of this. But it has to begin with your mindset, because you have literally been force-fed this narrative your entire life, and now it is your responsibility to break the cycle. And unless you take action on removing this belief, you will never be free from it, and nor will your kids, and your kids' kids, and so forth. So to increase your luck, work smart and work hard, and start reading books that actual successful people have written, and the opportunities will come to you. Because as the saying goes, wise men learn from their mistakes, but wiser men learn from the mistakes of others. And for me, boys, I'm currently reading The 4-Hour Work Week by Tim Ferriss, and it is absolutely mind-blowing. And I guarantee that if you read and apply the things that he discusses in that book, you will understand my current mindset so much more. And to be honest, I've been trying to apply the knowledge he's provided me with for months now, and eventually I will move on to another book, because I've got a bloody long list of them, and I'll put a few on the screen for you right now. But anyway, that is all for this video. I hope you've enjoyed watching, and see ya.